You're driving your F150 and hear a ticking sound coming from the engine bay. It's faint at first, but soon it's louder, more persistent. You check under the hood and everything looks fine, but what if I told you that ticking could be your engine begging for help? Today we're exposing one of the most overlooked culprits in engine performance issues, the exhaust manifold. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to remove and replace it like a pro saison. Welcome back to the channel. If you own a Ford F150, especially the 5.4L Triton or 3.5L EcoBoost, chances are you'll deal with a leaking or cracked exhaust manifold at some point. This job can look intimidating, but we're breaking it down step by step so you can tackle it with confidence and avoid some expensive mistakes. Before we get our hands dirty, let's talk symptoms. A failing exhaust manifold often sounds like a ticking or tapping noise that gets louder when you accelerate. You might also notice reduced power, poor fuel economy, or even the smell of exhaust in the cabin, which is a serious safety issue. Over time, a cracked manifold or a bad gasket can cause damage to your valves and O2 sensors, and yes, even your catalytic converter. So if you're noticing these issues, it's time to act. All right, let's gear up. Here's what you'll need. A good socket set with deep and shallow sockets, breaker bar and torque wrench, penetrating oil. Trust me, you'll want this. Pry bar, replacement manifold and gaskets, new bolts or studs if your kit doesn't include them, safety gear, gloves, eye protection, and patience. Optional but highly recommended, anti-seize compound, a heat gun or torch to loosen stuck bolts, and a mechanic's mirror. Start by disconnecting the battery, then raise the vehicle and support it with jack stands. On many F150 models, especially 4x4s, you'll need to remove the inner fender liner to get proper access to the manifold. Next, spray all manifold bolts and nuts with penetrating oil. Let it soak for at least 10 to 15 minutes. If you rush this step, you risk snapping a stud in the head, which turns this into a much bigger job. Carefully disconnect the exhaust pipe from the manifold, support it so it doesn't stress the rest of the system. Then start removing the manifold bolts. Go slowly, alternating sides to reduce stress and minimize breakage. If a bolt feels like it's about to snap, apply gentle heat or work it back and forth gradually. Once all the bolts are out, remove the manifold. If it's stuck, use a pry bar gently to break the seal. With the manifold off, inspect the mounting surface on the cylinder head. Look for warping, carbon buildup, or damage to the gasket area. Use a gasket scraper or fine sandpaper to clean the surface, but be careful not to gouge it. Check the old manifold for cracks or warping and compare it to the new one. Make sure all ports and bolt holes line up perfectly. Time to install the new manifold. Start by placing the new gasket onto the mounting surface. If your replacement manifold uses a metal gasket, make sure it's facing the correct direction, usually with the embossed side facing out. Carefully position the new manifold and hand tighten the bolts to hold it in place. Then torque them down in a crisscross pattern to factory spec. This ensures even pressure and a good seal. Reconnect the exhaust pipe, double-check all connections, and reinstall the fender liner if removed. Reconnect the battery and you're ready to fire it up. So, was that ticking sound really worth chasing down? Absolutely. Replacing a faulty exhaust manifold doesn't just stop the noise, it protects your engine, restores lost power, and keeps your truck running the way it was meant to. If this helped you save time, money, or frustration, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more DIY F150 fixes, and drop a comment if you've got questions or your own tips to share. Thanks for watching, and keep wrenching.